You're listening to the MAONO PD300X microphone that I have here. This is a dynamic microphone that has USB as well as XLR on the back. So on the back here, you'll notice that I'm not using the XLR at the moment. I'm just using USB, and I have a pair of headphones plugged into it. It's a pair of Sony MDR 7506 headphones, and we have it mounted on a tabletop desk stand for the microphone. This is not included with this particular model, but as I move it around and I move the cables, you might hear some noise. I'm touching the cables right now in the back, so just be sure not to touch any of the cables that are connected to it, but there is a shock mount isolator here. I'm going to push the mute button so you can hear what that sounds like. You'll notice there's a little bit of a thunk when you press that mute button, and this is the knob on the side of the microphone that I'm pushing here. This is how you adjust the levels of the microphone. So for example, right now, I'm adjusting my monitor mix, and you'll notice in the software on this side, you're seeing those changes happen in real time. I'm going to push this again, and now I'm going to adjust my headphone volume. So my headphone volume can go up and down just like that. And you're hearing some noise in the microphone audio, so you don't want to do this while you're recording. But I'm adjusting the gain here for the microphone. So if I move up to about 2 inches from the microphone, this is where you would want the gain to be set, and you can see that the volume level in the audio meters bouncing around in that range with the line next to it, and that is going to indicate that you have a good volume level. But if I move further away from the microphone, I might need to turn that gain up a bit. So right now I am about 6 to 9 inches away from that microphone, and this is probably a good level for that. Now, by default, it has the noise gate on, so I'm going to turn the noise gate off. Now, you might have noticed a little bit more background noise that you hear in the room. This is with noise gate off, and let me turn the noise gate back on. But when you have the noise gate enabled, you might hear a little bit of artifacts when you talk, because you'll still hear the background noise come through when you're talking, but quickly mute when you're not talking. I've just turned the noise gate off again, and I'm going to move closer to the microphone, back to about 2 inches away from the end of the microphone. Now I'm going to toggle the noise gate on and off again for you. Right now it's off, and I just turned it back on there. So you might also want to use the noise gate when you're talking close to the microphone, and it could help out with a little bit with the background noise. So I'm going to turn the noise gate off for the moment and also move away from the microphone and turn the gain back up here. All right, so there's some other things that you can adjust here, such as the button functions. You can also choose a scene here and adjust the EQ. So right now I'm going to do a low cut, and with the low cut you should hear less bass in the audio. Now, to really emphasize this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and go to the gain setting here and move it a little bit lower so that I can move up closer to the microphone. So this is with the low cut, and now this is with the low cut off. So you should hear a little bit more bass right now. But if I do the low cut, then it should cut out some of those bass frequencies. Now I'm going to go back to flat. This is flat, and I'm going to boost the mid-range a little bit. So you might hear a little bit of that mid-range pop up a bit more, a little bit louder, maybe a little bit easier to hear depending on your voice. Now I'm going to go back to flat. This is flat. Now I'm going to do low cut and mid frequency boost, and you'll hear a combination of that low cut and that mid frequency boost there. I'm going to go to original, and you'll hear what that sounds like, and then back to flat here, which looks to be about the same. So let's go to some of these scenes here. So we have podcasting. This is a podcasting scene here. So you can see that they have this EQ set up here, and it's got a bit of a cut in the middle there and some boost in the high frequency range. So I'm going to go back to flat, and you can hear the difference there with flat, and then I'm going to go to podcasting. This is the podcasting setting. Now I'm going to jump over to recording here. So this is recording. You can see that it's cutting some of that low frequency and boosting some of the mid to high frequencies there. Let's go back to flat here, and this is flat, and then let's go to recording. This is the recording preset. Now I'm going to gaming. This is where it looks like they've cut out a lot of that low frequency because they didn't want any of that low frequency in there, and they boosted a lot of that mid, probably just for intelligibility. So let's go to flat. This is flat, so you can compare it to the gaming preset, which is what you're listening to right now. Okay, I'm going to go back to original. This is back to flat, how it originally sounds. Let's try the compressor real quick just to hear how that sounds. And I tried this a bit before, and honestly, I heard a bit of distortion with the heavy compression, so I don't think you would want to use much of this unless you wanted that distortion in there for that effect, but that's what the compressor sounds like. Now you can click on the three dots and tune the settings in the compressor as well. Like if you don't want a ratio as high, you could tone that down maybe to around 2 or so, 2 to 1. And then if we dial in that compressor a bit more, you can hear that it's probably a little bit less harsh on that compressor. All right, so that's the compressor. You can also turn on a limiter here, which if you start to lower the limiter threshold, you'll start to hear some of that same distortion and artifact happening. Limiter also has the same type of customization that you might expect for a limiter. If you click into the advanced settings here, you can adjust the attack and release time. Let's turn the limiter back off. So that's it for the MAONO PD300X. It's got a USB output as well as an XLR output. So if you wanted to plug this into professional gear or audio interfaces, you could do that through the XLR connection.
So this review is for a USB XLR dynamic microphone. This microphone is made by the company MAONO. I think I'm saying that correctly. And this microphone is specifically designed for live streaming, podcasting, that kind of thing. And it says that it's made for iPhone, iPad, and iPod. This particular microphone here is a studio-styled microphone. It has an all-metal chassis, so all that you see here is all metal, and it's a pretty heavy microphone because of all the metal there, but it just speaks to the quality of the construction as well. As you can tell, it comes with the shock mount already attached to the microphone so that you can easily connect it to your desktop stand or a freestanding stand of some type. It features also an XLR output for connecting to a high quality audio system, a mini stereo phone jack for your headphones, as well as a USB-C jack for connecting to your phone or your mobile device or your computer as well. If we take a look at the other features here, there's a mute button also up top, and that mute button also functions to switch between different kinds of effects as well. There's a multi-mode button here as well with a dial, and this a multi-mode button can allow you to adjust the sensitivity of the microphone by turning that up, or turning up the volume of the headphones, or switching between the effects built in as well. Some of the other accessories that come with the microphone include a high quality USB-A to USB-C cable that's included, and then a 5/8 to 3/8 stand adapter as well. Beyond that, the user manual does come with it, some other literature. The user manual comes in several languages, and then beyond that, there's a product literature for how to obtain MAONO Arena. That's a different software that you can use. The application that's used to control and do the settings for the microphone is called MAONO Link, and that's also available once you have the microphone as well. So I think the only thing that's left to do is to go ahead and attach this microphone. I've got an extra pair of headphones here standing by that I think we'll go ahead and connect in here. And then once I connect the USB-C cable to it, you'll probably hear me switch from the microphone that I am using already, and it'll switch to the microphone that I have in hand, the MAONO. Okay. So hopefully you can hear it now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and switch my headphones over since I've got those connected. I'll take these off and put my new headphones on, and to be sure that I can hear what you hear. You'll notice that as I was speaking, there is a level indicator. There's a level indicator that's on on the front of the microphone that indicates how loud the sound is, and also all the handling noise that you're hearing there as well. So as I tap on the microphone, you can see that level changing as well. So the mute button is here. Once I press mute, everything will go out. Okay, it briefly went out. I can adjust the sensitivity of the microphone by changing the mode button to the all white setting. So once I turn that up, of course, you hear the sensitivity of the microphone increasing as well. I can also press the button again, and apologize, it's so loud. And now this is the volume of the headphones, that kind of thing, and so forth. So why don't we see how it sounds up close? I'll bring it up close to my mouth. Okay, the sensitivity definitely needs to come down a little bit. Let's go back and change that again. So we're going to go back to that mode, and we're going to turn that sensitivity down some. Okay, we've got the sensitivity adjusted. And so I noticed that the microphone, to me, it has a really high emphasis on clarity. The high end of the microphone is really stressed there so that we can hear a lot of detail and so forth. So we know that that's one of the reasons that they would probably focus in on that, because it's being used for podcasting and voiceovers and that kind of thing. So I think the microphone sounds good. It's nice and clear. It may be a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little close to my mouth, that kind of thing. And maybe once we have it attached to a stand, it may even sound even better. And of course, you can always adjust the equalizer settings for clarity, for highs and lows and that kind of thing, give it more presence and so forth. So this microphone, of course, the PD300X by MAONO is available on Amazon. So thanks for watching.
Alors, je pensais que la meilleure façon de montrer un petit peu la qualité de son de ce micro, c'était d'offrir un enregistrement vocal fait avec le micro. Donc là, vous voyez l'image de mon chat qui va rester en fixe, et je vais simplement expliquer les particularités du micro. Donc on est sur un micro qui est destiné au podcast, au gaming, au streaming, avec un son de très bonne qualité, avec une réduction qui est de bruit externe qui est à la fois physique et logiciel. Bon, là il se trouve que je le tiens à la main, donc il va y avoir un peu d'interférence, et j'ai le câble de mon casque qui est branché dessus, puisqu'il faut passer par le micro pour avoir le retour son, exactement comme un système de capture de son professionnel. On va avoir le micro qui est monté, donc qui peut être monté sur perche, à la fois à la verticale mais aussi à redescendre du plafond. Il va être monté sur un élément silicone, et on va avoir des réglages qui permettent de régler la hauteur du son, de couper, si on fait du gaming par exemple. On va pouvoir également varier entre quatre fonds sonores, un qui est destiné au podcast, qui est celui qui est réglé ici parce que c'est celui que je préférais, et que moi c'est vraiment l'ambiance que j'aime et c'est ce que je fais. Mais on a des fonctions variées avec différents éléments qu'on peut rendre un peu plus. Donc on va pouvoir avoir un son plat de l'original, on va pouvoir avoir un son plus gaming avec des détails plus crispy, on va dire. On va avoir le podcast qui donne une voix un petit peu plus profonde, quelque chose d'un peu plus suave. Et voilà. Le micro possède une mousse qui est de très bonne qualité, qui va lui permettre de filtrer le souffle. Donc là, pour donner un ordre d'idée, je suis à 10 cm du micro seulement. Voilà, donc je pense que ça donne une idée de la qualité du son.
Genau schauen wir uns das gleich nochmal im Zusammenhang mit dem Klangtest des Mikrofons im Anschluss an.
So, also jetzt hier herzlich willkommen zum Soundtest. Das ist also das Original MAONO PD300X, das ihr hier hört. Das ist über USB an den kleinen Mini-Computer hier angeschlossen und dann kommt über die Kopfhörer das Direct Monitoring aus diesem Mikrofon auch gleichzeitig noch über den Kopfhörerausgang in meine Kopfhörer rein. Wenn wir jetzt hier mal auf den Monitor drauf schauen. Achso, also erstmal, das ist die neutralste Einstellung, die man sich vorstellen kann. Und ich habe hier, wie man hier sieht, ein Noise Gate mit drin. Das heißt, sobald ich aufhöre zu sprechen, hört man komplett null. Das liegt einfach daran, der Noise Gate, das kann man sich vorstellen wie so ein Tor. Das macht sozusagen erst dann auf, wenn wirklich eine gewisse Mindestlautstärke durch meine Stimme auf die Mikrofonkapsel sozusagen entsteht. Und sobald das sozusagen weniger als, wie man hier einstellen kann, minus 25 dB sind, kommt hier gar nichts mehr durch.
Beschreiben Sie das einer REST-API zugrunde liegende Konzept.